So again, good morning, everyone. And it is so heartwarming to be spending this special day with each and every one of you. Happy Mother's Day. And it is a special treat for me today because she's not here now, but my own mother is coming to the service this morning. I don't often get a chance to have her join us. She lives a little ways away and is not in the best of health, so she can't come very often, but she is coming today. So I'm very excited and even a little bit nervous about that, doing a Mother's Day talk with Mother here. And there's even a little bit more to it than that, because you get to hear this before she does, but I'm going to make a confession today. So I'm going to fill you guys in on it here. You get to hear this before she does. Little story about Mom and I. So when I would come home from school, it was elementary school, so I was probably about, 9 or 10. And of course, like most kids, I would have some chores, I would have some homework, and I was actually pretty good about getting the chores done and getting well, let's just say I was good at getting the chores done. We'll stop right there. But I was also very much into the cookie jar. Dum, dum, dum. Yes, I discovered at an early age where Mom kept the Oreo cookies. So I would come home from school, and of course Mom would come home a little while later when she got off work. And so I would, after clearing the cookie jar 2 or 3 times completely, Mom put her foot down and said, "Okay, this has got to stop." So she began enforcing the cookie rule by counting the Oreo cookies. So this way she knew exactly how many I ate, because I was only allowed to have 1 or 2 when she got home. So she figured out how to kind of keep me out of that. And it really worked great for a little while until, and I'm my mama's boy, I figured out a workaround. I figured out that if I took the Oreo cookies and I opened them up, I could eat out the middle and put the 2 halves back together, therefore keeping the integrity of the exact number of Oreo cookies that were there when she left that morning. So I was always doing this. This is why Mom thought I was a Buddhist at age 9. She would come home and I'd be... It wasn't really the Anjali Mudra. It was me putting cookie halves back together. So I'm going to share that with everyone when she gets here for the 10:30 service. So you may want to come back for the 10:30 service just to see the fireworks, I don't. But Mother's Day is a very special and a wonderful day. And I had actually always thought that Mother's Day was a chance for mothers to celebrate. But actually, this is not how Ann Jarvis, the founder of Mother's Day, had actually intended it. Back in 1908, she envisioned a much more personal Mother's Day. A day where each person would remember their own mother. And you can see this reflected in the name of the holiday. And Ann Jarvis specifically chose the singular possessive Mother's Day with the apostrophe in front of the S, rather than the plural possessive Mother's Day. And so it is instead a day for each of us to remember our own mothers, to honor our own mothers. So I would like to do a little experiential activity with everyone this morning. And I am also very much aware that for some folks, the relationship with their mother may be difficult or even painful. So the invitation is to bring to mind a person, a being. This could be a coworker, a teacher, a nanny, It could actually even be an animal or a pet or some being that has made you feel that sense of nurturing, of unconditional love, no matter how many Oreo cookies you ate. That sense of no matter what we do, they are totally a part of us and there for us and love us. This soul has embodied the divine feminine for us. And even if just for a moment, maybe it was a moment from your past where somebody was so kind and so nurturing, or perhaps a being or even a pet that just made you feel absolutely warm, cared for, loved, and nurtured. Often qualities that we associate with mom. So either way, whether it's with your actual mother or a being that brings this alive for you, I would like to do a little experiential activity. So let's begin first just by breathing, taking a breath together. And as you release, I invite you to close your eyes for just a moment, focusing on the breath, rise and fall of the tummy. Maybe even scanning the body real quick and see if there's any tensions in the neck or the shoulders, and relax the body. And so in this experiential activity, I would like for you to bring up the image of this person that embodies the divine feminine, mother, or this person who was mother for you in this lifetime. And for just a few moments, you'll have this image, but more importantly, it is the feeling that I want to focus on. This being has not given you or provided you this feeling, they have awakened it within you. Whether it was mom or a nanny or a pet or a teacher, an aunt, but this person nurtured you, loved you unconditionally, made you feel that you are absolutely perfect, exactly as you are. Warts and all, they often say. And so with this image, you can release the image once you have it of this person that has awakened this divine feminine within you. Release the image, return to the breath, and just focus on the feeling nature of that. The way being loved unconditionally makes you feel. And just stay with that feeling for a moment. No place to go, nothing to add to yourself, nothing to take away, perfect exactly as you are. Warm, nurtured, loved, cared for, and just be with that feeling for a moment. Be aware that the ego mind may want to bring up regret or a sadness. That has no place here. It's not about the who should have provided these. It's not about whether or not that will ever be provided again. It's accessing that memory of that moment and then being in the present moment with the body and the way that feeling exists within us. That is the invitation. That is the practice. You may sense this as a warmth. It may feel like an expansive feeling, larger than this body or even this room. It may manifest as colors. a bright light. And so I invite you to continue to focus on this feeling. Just notice it, even with only 10 or 15% of your awareness, as I expand a little bit on this sensation, or this becoming aware of the divine feminine within us. So though we have used a memory to access this feeling, this sensation, it is still a very much a present moment experience. This feeling is actually always with us. It's always been there. But it's times during fear, greed, hatred, delusion that we are unable to access it, to feel it, to sense that it is there. It comes from our own divine feminine. And again, these beings are not so much giving us something as much as bringing our own awareness to what is already within us, waking us up to that quality within us, that divine feminine, that ability to nurture, that ability to love unconditionally. It's like Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz coming home and realizing that her friends, the Scarecrow and the Lion and the Tin Man, were always with her in the form of these farmhands that lived on the farm with her. Love, peace, joy, and equanimity are actually always with us. This is not an intellectual activity. It may have begun with an image in your mind or a moment, a memory. But once we've established that, we return to the breath and drop into the body and notice the feeling nature of it. This is the gift of moms, of mothers, or those beings who embody unconditional love, who see us not as an ever-changing maze of concepts, ideas, emotions, and experiences, in other words, conditioning, but see us as we really are: light, love, peace, our true nature. When we practice in this way, we can begin to stabilize in this feeling. And it's not so much the sensation or the feeling nature that is important as it is the state of being with our divine feminine, inviting that aspect into our lives and our awareness so that we can then begin to see ourselves through the eyes of our mothers, or these beings that have shown us and introduced us to unconditional love, nurturing, compassion, equanimity. And when we establish a relationship within us with this divine feminine, there is no longer a need to look outside. The external aspects that we search so desperately for this comforting, such as cookies, money, alcohol, daydreaming about a better life, video games, all these things that we use to temporarily comfort ourselves when perhaps mom or this other being is not present, we begin to realize that was always within us. These other beings simply awaken that within us and help us to see that. So when you feel the need for comfort, return to this. This state of being in the divine feminine, complete acceptance, is a state of love, peace, joy, and equanimity. And this is the gift from our mothers and from these beings we experience as mothers, as divine feminine. And for that, we are grateful. And then the feeling sensation can move to experiencing divine feminine, to experiencing and feeling gratitude for each and every moment, for each experience, even the difficult ones, which have in some way helped us to learn, to grow. Releasing all the shoulds, the shouldn'ts, releasing all the concepts and ideas about who a mother should be or what a mother should be, and simply relaxing into this same aspect that they have given us, that we give not only to ourselves, but to all beings, seeing them as light and love and not conditioned patterns of speech and behavior. So let's take a conscious breath together. And release. And be present with the gratitude. So thank you to all of our mothers. And thank you to the divine feminine within each one of us, male or female. Namaste.